Okay, so let's see if we can code the Sieve of Eratosthenes. Okay, so things we need. We need an integer from our pseudocode called max. I'm going to set my max to 20 like I did on the board, so that, great. And then, how did you all figure out how to make a Boolean array?
Boolean square brackets, is it prime?
Copy and paste. Kick ass. All right, let me. Oh, yeah, that's how you pronounce the Eratosthenes. And then there's a Wikipedia page, which I don't need. And then in here, I want to make an array, right? And it's been a little bit. So I think this is the copy and paste we were talking about.
Yeah.
So this array, oops, not the right thing. This array is a. What kind of array have I just created?
Integer array.
An integer array, and I wanted a Boolean array. Okay, Boolean array called numbers is new. Why is it whining?
Because you're saying this Boolean array is a new array of integers.
Yeah, you're saying this list of Booleans is a list of integers, and it's like, wait, what?
Yeah, fill this list of Booleans with integers.
Yeah, and then this needs to be max. So what this does is it'll make max 20 up at the top, and then it's going to make a new list of Booleans that's max long, so 20 long. And then let's see, what else was my next step in my pseudocode?
Initialize it all to true.
Initialize it all to true. So to initialize it all to true, I need a for loop. For, and this is the looping through the array. So this is init to true, init numbers array to true. Why is it kicking a syntax error for an... I'm super confused about that. Okay, at any rate, whatever. I want to loop through the array, right? So I want to start with an integer I at 0 and go up to I should be smaller than... What's good syntax for looping through an array? Or good coding practice for looping through an array? Yeah, always just go up to the array's length. So numbers dot length. Why would you use numbers dot length?
Because then if you change the length, then...
Yeah, because then if you decide to change your array's length, this line doesn't have to be adjusted, right? Okay, so, and what's the last thing that a for loop wants? An increment statement, so an I++. Guys, good with these? Okay, next. What else? Kick ass, set them all to true. So numbers, whatever equals true. That do it? No. Dang it. Numbers I is true, right? So that's loop through the whole array, set it equal to true. Okay, good, cool. Then in my sieve, what's my steps in my sieve? Yeah, good. You have to false out 0 and 1. Why do you false out 0 and 1? Because of the way primes are. Okay, so set 0 and 1 to false by... How do you do this? Something equals false, right? Numbers... Okay, so that'll set 0 to false, right? And then same thing with 1. And really, this is bad commenting. This isn't really setting 0 and 1 to false, right? This is setting numbers slots 0 and 1 to false. Okay? So after I falsed 0 and 1, then what do? What does my pseudocode say? Loop eyes. Okay, so I want a for loop. Oh, look, I made a for loop with eyes before. I'm just going to copy that down. Because lazy coding is good coding. Okay, so for eyes starting at 0 up to the length of your array, right, which is the max, right? What do you want to do? So this is going to start back at the beginning of the array, right? And go, okay, so 0 is not prime, so I should do nothing. 1's not prime, so I should do nothing. 2 is prime, so then I should go through the array and cross off the multiples of 2. So I need if numbers I, then do what?
It's like saying it's already true.
Yeah, exactly. This is saying if they have true in them still, right, which 0 and 1 don't. Yeah, so now I want to go through and cross off the multiples. So I really here want something like set multiples to false. And the way I set multiples to false is I do something like numbers. In my pseudocode I had an I times a j equals false. What's it whining about? The variable j does not exist. Yeah, because so what I have right now is I want to go through the multiples, right? But I don't have a number to multiply by I. So I need another for loop here. So for loop thing, tab that in. Oh, now it's really annoyed. Syntax error on parentheses? Misplaced constructs? Oh, I didn't fill anything into the for loop. That's why it's complaining. So you wanted to loop through multiples, right? So when do your multiples start? How about what type of variable should I be looping with?
J.
Yeah, I want to loop with a j, and I want to start j at 2, right?
Int J.
Oh, and it needs to be an integer. Remember, you can loop through all sorts of weird stuff in here, right? Remember, you can loop through on characters. But I want to loop through on integers, right? Specifically, I actually want to loop through on whole numbers, but whatever. I want to start at 2 and go up to... So j has to be smaller than or equal to... max divided by I. Semicolon. And then increment j. And I did equals to here. I'm not sure whether I needed that.
It's going to loop through one more time.
It's
like
gonna.
it's still true at.
Yeah, it's gonna loop through whenever j is actually equal to the max divided by I. So let me see here. So here I'm going to 20, right? So 20 divided by 2, the first thing I'm going to cross out is 10, right? So do I want to cross 20 off or not? I think I need to be able to cross 20 off. So I think I want to go up to equals here. But do you want to try it the other way? Let's try it the other way.
It would say, all right, let's do the for loop one more time. Almost the last slot, and then it'll do it one more time again.
Right. When j is actually equal to max over I, I think I.
Then it'll loop through one more time.
think I want it to. That's my claim. But let's try it.
It seems was right. Well, I meant my claim was that it's the same method.
Oh, your claim is that it's the same?
Yeah.
It is not quite the same thing. But let's try it. Okay. So let me try it with the... so I tried it with Chris's thing.
Nice.
And I'm going to add a comment here. Maybe? I don't know. You could be right, Chris. Might be fine. So then I loop through and falsify things, right? Okay. So now, what do I expect this piece of code to do if I press go?
Basically nothing right now.
Basically nothing right now. What do I expect it to actually do?
Well, it's going to do all that, but it's not going to show anything.
Okay, so it is going to make a 1000 by 800 white window. Right? Why does it do that? Because that's kind of how processing is, right? Processing always makes a window for you to draw in regardless. I don't know a way to show it off. And I'm going to pretend that I couldn't look it up and see if there's a way to shut it off because I prefer not knowing. It's fun. It is going to go through and set all the numbers or all the slots in that Boolean array I created to true. It's not going to draw anything because the draw method's empty. Is it actually going to call the sieve? No, I never called it. So right now I expect it to draw a window and maybe kick an error at me if I screwed this up. Looks like I didn't screw this up, so that's a plus. How do I get it to, you know, show me something? Yeah. In the draw. Okay.
Nice. But that's not really. Interesting.
So it is worth noting that it's printing this out 60 times a second.
Oh god.
Because I put it in the draw loop,
No.
and I didn't put a no loop on, so maybe we put a no loop on. So we call the no loop function, right, to shut off the draw method's looping behavior. And then we hit go, and I get out of this, oh, they're all true. Why are they all true? Because we suck at computer coding. No.
We didn't call the sieve function.
Yeah, we never called the sieve function. You guys see that? Like, I set them all to true, and then I wrote this sieve method, but I never called the bugger. So in order to call it, how do I call the sieve method? Yeah, sure. You can put it kind of wherever you want. Maybe here. So I just need sieve.
If you do, it's going to do a lot.
I remember I have no loop on.
Oh.
Sieve what? What's sieve expecting? Yeah, it's not expecting anything, but you still have to pass it nothing. Okay, so now if I hit go, I get, oh hey, false, false, 2's prime, 3's prime, 4's not, 5's prime, 6 isn't, wait, yeah, 7's prime, 8, 9, 10 aren't, 11 is, 12 is, ah, cool, seems legit, right? Okay, next thing. Let's check my concern for Chris.
Alright, 1 million, let's go.
Damn it. See, Chris? I told you.
Oh.
See if it works now. Dang it!
So we're like, I knew it was going to skip over one more time.
Okay, so it's having a problem, right?
Yeah.
And I think this will fix it?
Oh,
Yeah. So, what was up?
Oh, because it was throwing away the remainder. How to handle it.
Yeah, so it was throwing away the remainder, right?
That's the,
Because it was doing integer math. So I forced it to do float math, right? So that it would actually check if j is less than or equal to. So in this case, right,
congratulations, it looks like you were both correct.
that last, yeah, we were both wrong in our own unique way. So the issue there, right, was that you were getting to, we were getting to 3. So that's, I think that's in the 3 multiple that it was kicking. So we're doing 21 divided by 3 is 7. It should have executed on that, but it didn't. So, yeah.
Is it I.0?
Oh, that wasn't it. I.0, I don't think works.
I did the exact same thing for mine. Mine's not. Oh my god. No.
So it's going to depend on what your max is set to. Yeah, so if you set it to 1,000, it'll tell you that 999 is true. Or is prime.
Apparently, once you get to 8 million, a lot of them are false.
Oh, I see the issue.
Yeah, so it's just a little integer math versus float math thing. It's kind of annoying. You guys see if, so I set the max to 100, and now it says 99 is prime.
In the form, could you just set I to be a float?
In the for loop, could we set I to be a float?
Yeah.
Oh, up here?
Yeah.
I don't know. Yeah, so if you set I to be a float, then it doesn't like passing a float to the array as an index. So you could typecast it, right? You could force it. I think this is probably less elegant than adding 0.0 to things.
Or just do float with I.
Yeah, you could typecast I to a float here. That might be the most elegant solution.
Yeah. Minimize the numbers.
So it'll do that, but it's not showing anything above this number.
Cool. All right, so everybody good on Sieve of Eratosthenes, more or less? Part of why I wanted to show this was just to get some more practice with arrays. So in order to make things as confusing as possible, I'm going to add to this, I'm going to stop this video and then I'm going to make a new one with another array in it.